Good afternoon. Today is January 21st. I want to give you an update regarding the last attempt by NAR, the National Association of Realtors, to alter their course. We know that the Sitzer case concluded in Halloween 2023, and finally last Thanksgiving 2024, just about the settlement between the parties was finally approved. Now realtors must, as we know, comply with the terms of the settlement, and the organization itself must pay $418 million over their scheduled agreed upon payment schedule. NAR filed an appeal to the government's inquiry started 2018. There was a settlement between the parties, the government and NAR. The National Association of Realtors wanted no longer any investigation, and the court said yes, there can be, lower court said there can be a continued investigation and enforcement for antitrust violations, and the National Association of Realtors went to the Supreme Court to just simply ask back in October, hey, Supreme Court, will you hear our case? And just the other day, last Monday, a week ago, Supreme Court said no. So here we are. Realtors are now required to comply with the terms, and this attempt to reach the Supreme Court was denied. That was, I think, the realtors' last gasp. We are now poised for a fight or inquiry or further investigation or enforcement of the federal law between USA versus NAR. Realtors have never worked solely in a decoupled environment. The government wants complete decoupling. That means that sellers can't, even if asked, even if interested, even if desired, to pay buyer's agent commission. That can't be said more clearly than that. In the final settlement in the Sitzer case, the government gave a statement of interest and said, hey, judge, can you please warn the parties that getting into a deal between each other does not give anyone any comfort. National Association of Realtors should not be comforted by the fact that they agreed a case with a private party. We still reserve all our rights. That's what happened. The court said, no, we're not going to put that in. And then the statement of interest was published by the government, Department of Justice, and said, okay, well, if you enter in this agreement, no one is protected. We still want decoupling. They want sellers to never pay for buyers' agents' representation. They want each party to pay for representation. That's where we are. We're in a brand new administration. Trump has Pam Bondi as a hopeful attorney general who is very strong on antitrust law. We are at this brand new age where if National Association members do not comply with the terms of the settlement, and the government and the National Association doesn't pay the required damages, that deal could be off. Please remember that the plaintiffs asked for a complete decoupling. They asked for an injunction, which would have the court order the National Association of Realtors to no longer attempt or get compensation from sellers. So we don't know if NAR's case is over because they haven't had enough time to fulfill the payments or even be observed for compliance. We do know that the government has stated it wants no more coupling of commissions, period, and that was very, very recently upheld by the lower court and denied by the Supreme Court. Here we are, and we're wondering whether realtors, referral partners, lenders, title companies, and home inspectors are comfortable that their referral partners are completely untested and have never worked in this environment, with the threat looming large of no chance for sellers to pay, even if desired. So that's really what should be considered. And the only way I think that professionals can cover themselves is to be proficient in actually representing buyers and getting paid from the buyers, and listing agents, perfecting their craft. That's never been any different than now. But lenders, title companies, home inspectors, and others like insurance companies, lawyers, movers, stagers who work with realtors really have to understand and that they need to support their realtor referral partners as any way they can. It could be providing education. It could be connecting them with the right resources. It could be showing them they care, because imagine overnight a rule flipping where, let's say, you had a write with your left hand or drive on the other side of the street. Well, I think that realtors who have never, ever been precluded from gaining compensation from sellers is that's the same situation as we are right now. Imagine where sellers can't ever help buyers pay their agents. Be ready for that to happen in the very near future. I'm calling that to happen before Memorial Day 2025. I'd love your opinion.